Welcome to Problem Solver Politics. I am your host, Cardinellis, with Cody the Oracle.
Hey, everybody.
And it looks like the Lakers got caught pulling a Ruths Chris. Ruths Chris will forever now live in infamy. We can always say pulling a Ruths Chris, especially when it comes to the PPP program. It looks like they were taking out millions from the PPP program that was meant for small businesses. And I got to tell you, I can't think of anything less small business than literally ballers. You know what I mean? Like, there's like... in rap songs, I wish I were a baller. Like, that is the antithesis of small business, mainstream, mom and pop shop is a baller with millions and the organization he belongs to. You know what I'm saying?
Well, hold on. It's not the players.
No, I know it's not the players, but I'm just saying, like, man, you think the players are wealthy, then the organization's even more wealthy. The owners are insanely wealthy. Come on, these owners are making... hundreds of millions of dollars. They don't need a $2 million SBA loan.
Okay, anyway, hold on. We'll just get into it.
Okay, we'll get into it.
So, yeah, what you're talking about is there was the the infamous now Paycheck protection program. I always get it wrong. Essentially, part of the coronavirus stimulus and the CARES Act was the government would give small businesses, mind you, it's run through the SBA for the most part, small businesses, they had the option to apply for loans. I think have like a 1% interest rate. And as long as you continue to pay employees through June, the entire loan is forgiven.
Yeah.
So basically, they're kind of a way of saying, if you take out this loan to pay your employees with, that's what it's for. And we won't. If you take out this loan because I'm a small business and I can take out these loans, and then you don't then lay people off, you have to pay it back. Anyway, what's happening today is they're reopening the second round of funding. Now, why are they reopening the second round of applications? Well, because they ran out of money in about 14 days the first time. Now, part of the reason why they ran out of money in about 14 days the first time, as you were mentioning, is because several big companies applied for and actually were granted loans through this program. I believe to the tune of, I think they say it right around here, $2 billion has been either refunded or rejected or returned. Basically, $2 billion of funding that went out the first time. Mind you, this isn't a total of, I think we're encroaching on like $700 billion overall, but still.
Yeah.
$2 billion of it went to large companies. And you might say, why would you be returning or refunding necessary stimulus funds, right? Well, because as you alluded to, the companies that were getting this, and this is the most absurd one to me, we have talked about some. You brought up Ruths Chris Steakhouse, Shake Shack, they did return their money. By the way, this story came out. This is what's hilarious. Today, all the news is about the new funding in the Paycheck Protection Program, which, by the way, has some more controversies to it. Yeah. But they chose today, the Lakers, to, and if you read this article, the Lakers released this in a statement to ESPN to make sure it definitely is top of is refunding their $4 billion small business loan. $4 million, apologies. $4 million small business loan they applied for. I remember reading in the Shake Shack and the Ruths Chris article a few days ago, maybe a week ago now. How did Ruths Chris and Shake Shack, national chains, apply for small business loans? There was some not absurd but weird clause that said if you don't have 500 employees in any one location, you're like, those are all like small bit. I don't know. So maybe honestly, there probably isn't 500 employees in the Lakers, but they're not a hospitality business, which is what I believe that a clause for. I do not know how they got this money. But what's really awful and despicable about all this stuff, this is by the way, I'm reading you the quote from the Lakers statement to ESPN.
Can I just interject before you read their statement? You have to understand, the Lakers, all right, are worth $3.7 billion.
Oh, they're worth more than that.
According to the most recent analysis, and had 426 million recently made. I mean,
I'll put it this way.
That's like literally Microsoft asking, or that's like Bill Gates walking down the street and saying, "Oh, there's SBA loans out there. Oh, I can go grab a bill. Here, I'll take $100 bill." Well, I mean, it's like they don't need this money.
Well, also, not only that, the biggest thing is this. This is what's more for, because who knows what companies need. Honestly, I'm not going to get. This is the bigger issue that keeps running up in this. The reason why you designate money to be, the Lakers are a globally recognized. Interstellar brand. If I know about the Lakers and Mars, right?
Yeah.
Like they're that popular. They have other avenues of funding that small businesses don't. It's why they make small business loans.
Yeah.
Because small businesses can't, like, I think it was Shake Shack said, oh, we had some other funding opportunities in the market. That doesn't happen to a guy who's like owns like 2 roofing areas. You know what I mean? Like, people that need these loans have to apply for these loans for a reason. They don't have the options to, we just stock. Like, most of these companies that are returning this money were publicly traded, by the way. I don't think the Lakers are. Lakers are privately owned. But still, you know, like, it's insane to the people that are going to. And again, listen to what the Lakers said. And I think why you phrased it as apologize. The Lakers got caught. Listen to what they're saying. The Lakers qualified and received a loan under the Payroll Protection Program, the Lakers said in a statement to ESPN. Once we found out the funds from the program had been depleted, we repaid the loan so that financial support would be directed to those most in need. The Lakers remain completely committed to supporting both our employees and our community, which is a really nice way of saying, there's no money left. Now they're asking questions about who got the... If no one asked where this money
why
went,
was it depleted?
Yeah. If it was just, all this money went out and no one really looked and it just kind of came out a few months later. Oh, you know, Lakers got money in there? It'd be a footnote. And they know that. So that's why they apply. Same thing with Ruths Chris. Same thing with, what was it? Shake Shack. There was another chain. I forgot what it was. I know it's like a big taco chain in like the Southeast. But either way, like, these companies know. They just apply and they just get it. And as long as everyone gets paid in the end and no one comes asking questions about, hey, where's the money? I can't, pay my employees and my whatever, then they get away with it. And the Lakers found out crap would get away. Now, they are savvy because I do think sports franchises have to interact with public relations more frequently. Yeah, because they
because they're selling tickets, which is a public relations.
Owners, like Jeannie Buss will literally just give interviews all the time talking about her company she owns, like all the time, taking heat for decisions they make. So that's one thing. But it's hilarious. They chose today because, by the way, today anybody who's really following this, and I think I got it wrong again. Payroll Protection Program. I call it the Paycheck Protection Program, the Payroll Protection, something else. Anyway, with all that being said, there's another story going on that's kind of taking more attention. And as I mentioned, Congress rushed. I don't know if you guys saw those pictures of Nancy Pelosi in Congress. Did you guys see the video and pictures? People showing up to Congress in masks. Like, why would they be doing that? They were showing up to pass an emergency $310 billion in funding, essentially for the Paycheck Protection Program. There's another additional, a little over $100 billion that was scattered, but it was a $400-something billion bill. Almost all of it went to this one program. They showed up in masks to pass this bill. And what are we seeing today? Well, it turns out you have to apply through a web portal. Even if you're applying individually or through a bank, they have to go through a web portal. Now, in order to keep the web portals from getting too jammed up, this is the Small Business Administration. This is the SBA, so the Michigan Office. This is the document they've been given, is that if you are a bank applying with minimum 15,000 loans, minimum 15,000, so
Jeez,
I
that's
imagine
huge.
Single-digit banks can facilitate that in America. You get to apply a little bit earlier than everyone else, about 10:30 a.m. EDT. I don't know, they won't be processed before, but you get to put your applications in earlier, and you're part of kind of an expedited process to the front of the line. What we've seen from this is, surprise, surprise, there's one group of people particularly getting hit hard by this, and this is small community banks. Now, here's the thing, is that everything is going to leave some people behind. There's just no perfect bill that makes sense. But it's just, it's interesting to me in a day when most of the people that are interested in this PPP system and what's going on are people trying to apply for loans. That's the day the Los Angeles Lakers choose to say, oh yeah, by the way, ESPN, I just want to let you guys know that we're returning money. That we qualified and we're such good guys over here in the Lakers. Once we realized we ran out of money, we're like, we're going to give it back because we're just the Lakers and we're that great of guys. I mean, I think this has just been the most continuing failure I've seen. I mean, starting from the fact that as soon as this got passed, by the way, why do you think it's running out of money and people are so desperately trying to apply? This actually is a very good deal for a lot of small businesses.
Oh, dude, because
they're basically saying, what kind of...
they're saying we're going to give you free money. I mean,
they'll subsidize your payroll essentially for a few months.
A loan that's not required to be paid back is basically a gift.
Well, as long as it's used for payroll, so they're subsidizing your payroll.
Okay, yeah, but even if you could afford it, there's tons of companies I know that can afford it. They're going out there and saying, "I would be a fool for not taking this money."
1% interest rate, I believe. In
I would be a fool for not taking this money because
$10 million at 1% interest.
If worse comes to worse, I pay it back at 1% interest, which is nothing. Okay. But if I put it onto payroll, I'm not even responsible for taking payroll. I can actually cut more profit this month. I mean, this is, if there ever were a justification for libertarian doctrine, that just the government is inept and cannot do anything right. It's forget about the creation of the hysteria, but the response to the hysteria. I mean, we are indebting ourselves. Don't forget, the government has no money. The government has to sell bonds and has to sell future debt, which gets paid off with our taxes in order to fund these massive bailouts. Okay. So when you hear about, that's just a $2 billion abuse by the Lakers and Ruths Chris and, that one Pork Bellies chain and everything like that, you have to be thinking the state of Iowa's budget is $7.2 billion annually. I mean, just one of these companies executing $2 billion worth of abuse is literally almost a third of the entire state of Iowa's budget. You are indebting the entire state a third of their state's GDP for the next who knows what 20 years because of your one fickle abuse. That's literally how bad this is. I mean, and the numbers have gotten so insane that we are almost just desensitized to it. I mean, we went crazy when Barack Obama was talking about $800 billion worth of stimulus and bailout in, what was that? It was like 2010, 2012, 2008, somewhere in there. Okay. I mean, he was signing less than $1 trillion. We're going to hit like $2 or $3 trillion by the time this is over. And our Congress can't get together to do anything.
Oh, no, we're already there. I think the first CARES Act was over $2 trillion.
It was $1.2 trillion was what they had approved, but I don't think it's been I don't think it's actually been financed and given out yet.
Well,
but
remember, $700 million is going to be. Here's the other thing too. Some people are forecasting. They're saying maybe a little bit doom and gloom, but first
$3
round
trillion.
Of funding, the first round of PPP funding ran out in about 13 days. They're saying this next round because basically people have used the last week or so to just get applications ready. Maybe 48, 72 hours, and we'll have another $350 billion. I'm saying that's $700 billion gone right there.
They haven't been able to get together to fix anything, to fix immigration, to fix Obamacare, to fix the Affordable Care Act, to fix anything except for giving out money so easily to corporations that will never have to pay it back and are so loose in their restrictions that freaking Ruths Chris is getting small business loans.
The Los Angeles Lakers they're literally a globally recognized brand.
Yeah.
They're one because some of those other brands that you're looking at, like, they're big and they're wealthy companies worth a lot of money. It's like the Los Angeles Lakers, if they wanted to, and I guess kind of hard to, but like they could just like sell a bunch of, I guess kind of poor taste on Kobe merch, but they could sell a bunch of like Magic Johnson merch and stuff like that and get a bunch of just Lakers brand. They can do things. They can offer TV deals.
If they need
COVID, do things small businesses can't do. It's the reason why you have to have a loan. It's the reason why the SBA exists, right? It's a reason why you have things set up so big businesses can't just always shoulder everyone else.
Here's a perfect example. Let's just say we had a AAA team versus the Dodgers, or let's just say we had a minor league basketball team versus the Lakers. Dude, if the Lakers were really in trouble, you know what they could do? They could call up every ex-Laker. They could call up Magic Johnson. They could call up Wilt Chamberlain. They could call up...
Also, in sports, you can do this too. It's a little bit different. If I own a restaurant and I can't afford to pay for my bills in the restaurant, even a chain of restaurants, or even if a Shake Shack does go belly up somehow, it's one thing. Well, my point was the Lakers are a globally recognized brand. If the Staples Center collapsed in on itself, the brand of the Lakers, you were saying the Lakers are worth how much money? Dude, I believe the Clippers were purchased for a couple $billion at a low point in the franchise. Low point in the franchise for a couple billion. Dude, the Lakers are one of the most valuable sports brands in the world. They could probably the open market, they would fetch it insane. But my point is that though, exactly your thing is most companies have nothing like. The Lakers are the most absurd example of this abuse. This money was, and if you read like the language, everything about this, they kind of been hiding it now. But early on, language around this this Paycheck protection program was this. It was, this is for the small business. This is focused on the small. This is so you can keep your 5 or 6 employees employed, right? Like that was how they sold this. And then we're seeing the Lakers can do so much things to get money. You could sell.
Well, it's
privately owned. They could sell 40% of the team and get $1 billion.
No, they wouldn't even have to do that. I was before you started talking about the abuse, I was actually going to say, why don't they call up every single one of the ex-Lakers? Call up Wilt Chamberlain. Call up Magic Johnson. Call up, the rosters of 1980 to 2020 that are all still alive and get them to come in and say, hey, look, we'll sign a limited edition jersey that goes for $100 each. They would unload that and make $4 million overnight, dude.
Because they can make billions on TV deals. They can make billions on.
Before they take an SBA loan that screws the mom and pop.
That's the point exactly. Your regular. A guy, even if you have like a moderate sized company, but if I have like a moderate sized company that manufactures parts for airplanes, right? I can't make TV deals that bring in billions.
Yeah.
I can't make merchandising rights deals that bring in billions.
Yeah.
Exactly. I don't have so the fact that companies that do have those options are applying for, and we kind of harped on this a lot, but the reason why I bring it up and the reason why I talk about it so much is because it isn't like that happened and then they got their stuff together and now everything's all right. I mean, we've seen nothing but I've been kind of just on the side monitoring this, but this seems to be it's getting passed around as a pretty popular tweet. I'm not going to pull that one up. I don't want to know if it's not proven, but still, what I can tell you is that a lot of people are complaining about being able to get into the system and actually apply for loans. There's some very interesting language in there as well. I don't want to get too far into it, but again, this is community bankers around that I've been going, but there's a lot of weird language that to what I've seen the effect of, you cannot make hundreds to thousands of applications at once.
Yeah.
However, if you're able to get your 14,000 plus in earlier as a major bank, you are exempt. So again, don't want to get lost in it. I just think it's ridiculous to see how Nancy Pelosi had to run into the house in a mask with a bandana on, like she's like Butch Cassidy, to apply bonus money because it was going to the Lakers and Paycheck. I don't know, we went long on this, we always do, but that was just when I couldn't be more frustrated with how this whole thing was handled, finding out the Lakers applied for it, and then just watching, once again, this morning, anybody who isn't, single digits of banks that could probably get 15, 16, 20,000 applications together, right? You get screwed if you're a smaller bank, even though you already got screwed for not being Ruths Chris, Steak Shack, or the Lakers the first time around. I mean, it's crazy stuff. It's crazy stuff, and it's... I mean, what is next? Do they have to come back to the...
Well, how do we react as a people?
Again, but if it doesn't work again, are they going to have to come in and do another emergency? At what point do they say, we really, really, really... What do you even do, though? It's if this system exists where the Los Angeles Lakers can apply for a small business loan, and you know damn well, 5-6 people signed a piece of paper to make sure this loan actually goes through. I don't think, maybe it just goes into a web portal and it comes out the other end. I feel like some human being somewhere looks at the Lakers are applying for small business relief and can say, oh, but the Lakers aren't a small business. We can't qualify this. No. But if they get through, I mean, literally, who can't, right? Who can't qualify?
But how do we react to this as a people? Like, that's really my question. Like, at what point do the people just get so pissed off and tired that they stop funding and supporting indirectly the abuse?
But you know what's sad? No people know.
Like, would you stop watching the Lakers?
No, I'm doing like
yeah, exactly. So you're not going to stop watching the Lakers.
Not even that, but I only hold them as at fault as I hold the human beings along the way who allowed this to happen. But the bigger thing is this:
but why aren't they at fault? What a bunch of douchebags.
What are people's response? What are they doing? Dude, what they're doing is they're trying to apply for this loan they need. That's the problem is there isn't this luxury of like just sitting back and kind of being like, Congress. A lot of these people that like are really the people the Lakers are directly stealing money from, essentially. They gave it back, but they tried to steal money from. They're too busy trying to get the money they need to keep their business running to focus on, oh man, Steak Shack. Yeah, they're frustrated, but they need to get their loans. They need to be able to pay their employees because this is basically a subsidized payroll for businesses by the government right now. They say as long as you use this money to keep your people on the payroll, you don't have to pay it back. It's just money gone.
To me, morally, this is just theft. This is theft from the poor.
It is.
I'm sorry.
That's why when the money ran out, they had to give back. It's like, this is because here's the thing. I guess you can almost make the argument as a business morally, if the money doesn't run out, you're not really stealing from anyone but the government.
Yeah.
When the money does run out, you're stealing from how many small businesses could use $4 million in relief, right? Like $4 million in payroll for a few months. I get there's medium-sized businesses where that goes quick, but how many small businesses really blow through $4 million in payroll in 2 or 3 months? I mean, I don't know. Yeah. Probably get a couple of payroll. Still, it is interesting. I think that's funny you brought that up. Yeah, how it is. I guess you could almost see it from a business perspective. Morally, as long as everyone gets paid in the end, only the government got screwed. Only the taxpayer.
No, but see, I was going to say you can't even say that though.
Theft. I can see from a business. I
You
can see that
can't
argument.
even say that, oh, well, even if the money didn't run out. No, because in order to fund that pool of money, they had to issue a bond that the taxpayers are going to pay. Do you realize right now, my children and myself actually are already burdened with $50,000 to $100,000 more of debt just from pre-coronavirus bailouts.
Well, yeah.
Okay. And this already triples with. I literally think, if I'm just doing basic math here, that me and my children have now been saddled because the irresponsibility of all these boomers with another about $200,000 of a tax burden. For the rest of my life, I will have a second house payment just to pay off all the irresponsibility of these boomers in Congress and these corporations.
Wait, but you and only you?
Well, come on. It's like less than 20% of America pays 90% of the taxes, dude.
But still, what I'm saying,
so yeah, me, because I actually pay taxes.
Oh, there we go. Sorry. So yeah, you and only you. All the other,
the tax-paying citizens.
Most people pay taxes, man.
No, most people do not pay taxes, except for minor consumption taxes. We're talking about income taxes here.
But still, my point is this: it's a lot of If the economy of the United States, if the country's in debt and the entire country's bankrupt for a while, that impacts more people than you and only you. Just saying, it's bad for everyone.
Okay.
Like I don't think there's that many people that are just like, awesome, America's economy sucks. I made out like a bandit. Like there isn't that many people there. You know what probably is actually
apparently in the Lakers there are.
That's what I mean. Those are the people who do pay taxes. They're the ones that make out like bandits on the other end. They pay taxes and then they get $4 billion small business loans to pay their payroll, you know?
Okay.
Which by the way, the NBA ceased function. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
They don't have bills to pay right now.
Well, they got to
be paying their athletes what their contracts are.
That's part of it, but honestly,
But they're not having games. There's no payroll on the staff there.
But that's the thing though. They probably are trying to keep. Dude, teams pay people that are like. I don't know if
the guy serving Dodger dogs is not getting paid right now.
There's front offices though that they do stuff like scouting. They do stuff like training. They do stuff
and those guys are all on 6-figure incomes and ain't hurting.
Well, no, but they're trying to keep them paid.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get it. They have contractual obligations.
Dude, you're not making 6 figures if you're
defending the Lakers.
I'm not defending. I'm just explaining how these businesses function. Like, you're not making 6 figures if you're if you're basically like an aide to the physical trainer. Right? You don't make 6 figures if you're like.
I guarantee you, the aide to the physical trainer is not getting paid by the Lakers right now. You know, if you are the aide to the physical trainer of the Lakers and you're getting paid, let us know.
One second. If they're getting these $4 million loans to pay their payroll, that better have been where that money was going. It better have been going to guys in the video staff who watch, the film department. They better be getting that money.
Yeah, I better see the guy that cleans up all the popcorn and the spilled sodas out there doing a second round in an empty stadium if you're getting an SBA loan.
My one point, I'm not talking about concession staff. I'm just saying professional sports teams employ people, whether it be physical therapy, whether it be video review, whether it be analytics and data, whether it be scouting, whether it be contracts, whether it be advertising. They do pay these people. So there is an argument. It's stupid, and the Lakers have no right to take $4 million out of the mouths of like millions. I mean, seriously, the amount of people that could have gone paychecks for, it's insane. And I'm just saying though, they do have employees they could employ that are not players or staff or concession staff. There is infrastructures within organizations.
Okay.
I'm only saying that, by the way, because I'm a massive Lakers fan, so I have to just get that in there. If maybe they just wanted to keep paying those plucky little junior video staff guys, like, hey, we got to make sure these guys and girls working in our league office rules review sections.
Yeah,
keep getting employed. But no, it was really honestly shameful. Especially, I do want to make sure I mention but it was shameful to me the way the Lakers did this. Is they waited. It's been news that this is we reported on this like a week ago when this was first started coming out. It's been news. This was going on. We reported. We were just talking about it. They wait for today. They wait for to bury it and all the other news, and they go to ESPN. ESPN. Seriously, I couldn't believe it when I first read the tweet. Sorry, make sure you can see better. When I first read the tweet in ESPN, they didn't mention anywhere like the payroll protection program, any of that, and I was just like, oh, okay, I wonder what. I was like, no way. And they went to ESPN, the statement. Yeah. Oh, by the way, guys, we're giving our money back. Insane. So, we need this corporate abuse tea party. There needs to be a Rick Santelli moment
There needs to be a Rick Santelli moment against all of these people and these corporations.
Hey, if progressives want to get anything done, they got to make their own tea party.
Yeah, I got to tell you right now, if you want to be relevant again, instead of being angry at Jill Stein and being angry at, the Democrat Party and stuff like that, like step up progressives and start putting your feet or the feet of these corporations to the fire and demanding how on earth they qualify as SBA loans and exposing the people that are actually hurting because of these corporations. Okay. I'm sorry, but right now I don't see, Orange Man as the enemy. I see corporations. Like you got to go after these corporations because this is absolutely absurd. Anyway, if this has affected you, please let us know in the comments below. If you're aware of any other SBA abuses, let us know. If you can, please support the channel by joining. You can also contribute directly via PayPal if you go to our website, problemsolverpolitics.com. This is Problem Solver Politics. We'll see you guys in the next video.